Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so Gopalji, you
Yeah.
can please start with mantra 14 to 19
Yeah, right.
only.
Yeah. I will do that. What is that?
Yeah. So no need to chant. You can just
Oh, yeah, right.
quickly go through the summary.
Yeah, already I have
because we-
prepared it, but why I'm not getting that one? In my, okay, let me see.
So typed it or written?
No, typed it, yeah. Yeah, it is there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hari Om, Hari Om. Mantra 14. Huh? In the earlier mantras, Yamaraja explained how Dhiraha, the wise person, has to choose between Shreyas and Priyas, between the lasting good and the immediate gratification, and asserts his conviction of gaining the lasting happiness. When Nachiketa asks a question in the mantra 14, he is not asking for an additional boon that he is seeking. It's a clarification of what he has asked earlier. Hey Yamaraja, that which you see clearly, that which you know clearly, tell me that which is the nature of the self that you know. Difference between the dharma and adharma. That is, the dharma means righteousness, adharma means unrighteousness. Which is the difference between the krita, akrita, means effect and the cause, and that which is beyond the cause and the effect, which is that beyond the past, the present, and the future. Commentary, the transcendental self, that which transcends all the relative ideas, what we call dharma, righteousness, is also relative with reference to the adharma. Past is relative to the present, and the future and the cause is future. Past is okay. The past is relative to the present and future, and as well as the cause is relative to the effect. This is what the mantra 14 is now done. I have done. Then coming to mantra 15, in this mantra, Yamaraja proclaims the symbol of Om as the Brahma. Yamaraja is teaching to Nachiketas starts from mantra 15. What praiseworthy goal of all Vedas declare, to which goal all acts of tapas are intended to lead, and desirous of which men practice other kinds of brahmacharya to attain the Brahman. That goal, which you wish to learn, I shall tell you briefly. It is Om. Brahman, Atma, which Nachiketa wants to know, is too subtle for many to comprehend. Symbols are two types, Pratima and Pratika. Lord is equal to, it's the same as the Omkara and the same as Brahman in Taittiriya and Mandukya Upanishads. Bhagavad Gita also teaches the same in chapter 8 of the verse 11. Brahman is practiced in two ways, Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. Karanam and silent. There is one is a Karanam and a silent. Your Karanam Karyam. That's what is a Karanam and Karyam. Yama prescribes Omkara Upasana as the sadhana in verses 16 and 17. Is mantra 16. The syllable Om is indeed Brahman. The syllable is the highest. Whatever whomsoever knows the syllable, syllable obtains whatever of the two he desires. There are two things are there. Whatever he desires, he achieves by if you know the Om symbol. The 16th mantra tells us the greatness of this Om. Upasana of Om is praised. The mantra says, okay, because sometimes otherwise few of them are there. Etat by Aksharam. This syllable Omkara itself is Brahman because Nama and Nami, the name and the one that stands for this name and are non-separable. Therefore, it is absolute, Parabrahmam, Etat hi Evaksharam Param. Omkara is the highest. That means Omkara is the highest. Brahman is worshipped as Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. Brahman with a qualification, that is attributes, and Brahman beyond the qualifications and beyond qualifications. Omkara has a capacity to enable us to reach either Saguna Brahma or Nirguna Brahma. This Aksharam, the single syllable name, Om is Saguna Brahma, is Brahman with attributes. Omkara also is the aid or it is a alambaram. Alambanam. Pristiji, you say alambanam or alambaram?
Alambanam.
Alambanam. Okay. Alambanam. The support for Nirguna Brahma that is transcends all the attributes. Etat eva aksharam jnanatva. And meditating upon with the help of Omkara, whatever one desires, that is what one attains. So, you can look upon Omkara as a Saguna Brahma and ultimately go to the Bhakti Brahma Loka, or you can look upon Omkara as a name of Nirguna Brahma, and that becomes an aid to know the Nirguna Brahma as a self. That is the greatness of Omkara. Mantra 17. This mantra says the support is supreme. That is okay. Om is the best. Very Om. Once again, I'm telling you. Etat alambanam shreshtam. Om is the best support to attain the Brahman. Etat alambaram param. This support is supreme, without any parallel or equal. Etat alambanam jnanatva brahmaloke mahiyate. Having known and realized this support, one glories in Brahmaloka at the end of time, when the body is gone. Alambanam means the aid or support, like a wall to pole. A person uses the pole in order to jump, say for example, 12 feet or 13 feet, which you cannot do it right away. So with the help of the pole, he rises, lets off the pole and then crosses the barrier. So pole is called the alambanam. Support, aid, a prop. It can be called in a support, aid, or prop. Similarly, if you cannot directly meditate upon God, if you cannot meditate directly on God, then we require a prop. We worship the Vigraha itself as a God. The idea of the temple is that God, God is in this form. Then you can raise above the symbolizes God. You can raise above that symbolizes the God, and then you can meditate upon the what God stands for, omniscient, omnipotent, with a heavenly symbol. So similarly, also Omkara is a prop because it leads us to the Lord. Yeah. Alambanam, the support is the most exalted, better than any other name, better than any other mantra. There are many other names and mantras like Gayatri are there, but this is the very best. The Alambanam is Param. It is the supreme because it is Alambanam, support, both for the conditioned Brahman as well as the as for the Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka. So Brahma Loke Mahitye, one is worshipped in the world of Brahman. That Brahman can be Brahmaloka or it can be a Brahman that is the very self. This meditation is for tuning up. So in order for our mind to gain to know Brahman as a very self, this preparation, this mental worship, this meditation is a tuning up. So this is a classical meditation with the help of the Omkara, where you mentally worship the Lord. 18. Now next coming to 18. The knowing self is not born. It does not die. It has not sprung from anything. Nothing has sprung from it. Birthless, eternal, everlasting, and ancient. It is not killed when the body is killed. That this text is introduced for the purpose of directly ascertaining the real nature of the Atman. To attain whom the word Om was mentioned as a prop. He is not born, that is not produced, nor does he die. Various modifications are incidental to a thing which is produced and not eternal. Of those, the first and the last modifications, namely birth and death, are the outset are at the outset denied of the Atman, with the object of denying all modifications by the expression he is not born, nor he does die. Like that is a denying of the object of all modifications. So Vipakshit, intelligent, for he is by nature of indestructible intelligence. Again, this Atman came not from this anything, that is from any other cause, nor did any other real thing proceed from this Atman. Therefore, this Atman, unborn, eternal, everlasting, undecaying. Therefore, ancient, for that which undergoes a development of its parts is then said to be new. For instance, a pot, etc., etc. But the Atman who is of the contrary nature is ancient. That is which does not develop and does not develop those things. That is incapable of development. This being so is not slain nor affected, even though the body is slain by swords, etc. He is like the Akas, which is not slain. Next, mantra 19 says that one, if the killer thinks he kills, and if the killed thinks he is killed, neither of these apprehends right. The self kills not, nor is it killed. If the killer thinks that he is killing, if the killed thinks he is killed, both of them do not know. Both of them do not know the nature of their own self. The self. Yamaraja, the teacher, says, the one who thinks that he is killer means is a doer. Killing is just an illustration because the contest is death. Therefore, this example of killing is given. But one who thinks that he is doing something, he is the agent of doing something. Other one who thinks that he is the object of action, that something is done to me. So if I say that I do something, or if I say that something is done to me, both of them do not know. Why? Because the self neither kills nor it is being killed. The he does not do something, nor anything is done to self. There is no kartatva, no bhaktatva, bhakrutya, bhakrutva,
Bhaktrutva.
nor doership. There is a bhakrutva is a doership. Now, no doership. There's no enjoyership.
Enjoy.
No enjoyer, there is a kartatva, bhaktatva means no doer and no enjoyer, and the enjoyership. So in this way, we will continue our discussion in the next mantra also further, like Swamiji, because taken directly from Swamiji.
Yeah. So
But
thank you.
all this beautiful, okay, Swamiji finally ends this one after that lecture. He said there are a number of beautiful slokas are there, mantras are there, which are contemplating on self, are found in this chapter in the Upadesa of Yamaraj. Okay,
Yes.
then further, okay, then
Then it is Sudhirji's turn.
that is okay. I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So now Sudhirji catches from here. So Sudhirji from 20 to 25.
Is it okay, Pushtiji now?
Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Yes, Sudhirji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Starting from mantra 20. Mantra 20 tells about how is Atma. Anuraniya Mahato Mahiya. It is smaller than smallest, subtler than subtlest, and bigger than biggest. And where does it stay? It stays in the heart of all creatures, in the cave of heart. And Tam akrutu pashyati. Akratu means those people, those wise men who are free from their desires. Okay. And their mind is still, steady, not wandering, can experience Atman. That is what it says. How do you get that kind of mind? Swamiji says Kathopanisad or Atma Krupa. So in the context of that, Swamiji tells about the four krupas which are favorable for understanding Atma. One is Ishwar Krupa, favor of God; Guru Krupa, favor of teacher; Shastra Krupa, that is scripture knowledge, knowledge from scriptures; and Atma Krupa. Atma Krupa means supporting personality. The mind can be our own friend or can be enemy. So we have to see how it can be our friend. Then one can see the Mahat Atma, free from shokas, limitless, and you can attend the attend the condition of shokarahita and limitless kind of experience the limitless by yourself. Then comes the shloka number 21. Just a second. Let me bring it to 21. The shloka number 21 says, Asino duram rajati shayano yati sarvataha.
Yati Sarvata.
Uh, why is it difficult to know self? The answer is, normally, even if you are sitting still, your mind wanders, it goes far off. Whether you are in steady still sitting or whether you are sleeping in a dream, it wanders everywhere. In the Gita, Arjuna has told Sri Krishna that Chanchalam hi manah Krishna, Pramadi balavattaram. And Krishna has answered saying that this is possible only vairagyena hi kaunteya. That means you have a vairagya, you control your mind. And this madamadam, sometimes happiness, sometimes sad, and with always identifying with something or the other, that can be controlled with the help of vairagya. Then comes mantra 22. The 22 says, Ashariram Sharineshwanam Avasteshva Avastitam. Wise men realize Atman in body as a bodiless thing. It's not the body. One who is permanent in all bodies, he is a great Mahantam, Vibhu, all pervasive, and therefore, having realized this, they do not grieve. They are free from shocha or dukkha. That is what the mantra 22 says. Mantra 23 says, Naya Atma Pravachena Labhyo. It says that Nayam Atma Pravachena Labhyo. Just by listening to wise people, just by hearing to the people, just with the help of intelligence, Medaya. Yameva Vrishante Tena Labhya. Just a second, I will disconnect my call. Sorry. So then how is it achieved? The Swamiji has given two examples in this case. One is of khichdi, where you have all the things with you, like rice, dal, masala, everything. But if there is no fire, khichdi cannot happen. So, similarly, even if you hear the pravachans, they are required. It's a sadhanam. Pravachana, medha, listening, all these things are sadhanas. But unless there is a fire, unless there is a non-stop desire, that you cannot know this. That's what he's saying. Then another thing is giving example of Swayamvara. Swayamvara, in which case you have to desire only one thing, one person you can vara, whom you can choose. Okay, so like that, you have to leave aside all your desires and just focus on one thing. That is for knowing of your Atma with all the sadhanas which you are having, Vairagya, Shat Sampanti that you have acquired, and all the consistent listening and churning of the knowledge that you are having. You just requires that desire and fire, and you have to choose only one. And he is giving also the example of Krishna choosing for Krishna himself, vis-a-vis the Duryodhanas choosing the entire army of Krishna. So you have to choose yourself. You have to be choose it with the knowledge. You have to choose it with uh, uh, what I can say, with your conscious, and that way you can acquire this. That way you can come to know this.
Basically,
Then,
dropping all the other choices, choosing
yeah,
one, meaning dropping all the other choices. Yeah,
yes. Only one choice you should have,
yeah,
not other things, not many things.
yeah.
Then we come to the shloka 24. 24. 24 says, Na virato duscharita, na shanto, na samahita. Duschari, the people who are not abiding dharma, that they are chanchal in their mind, they are wandering in their mind, they are not tranquil. So those people, they are having rasaswada. That means they are interested in the uh, worldly pleasures, you know,
Enjoyments.
enjoyments, rasaswada. They cannot obtain this particular thing, but the uh, one can do only by knowledge, prajnanena, and viveka. Prajnana and viveka. These are the only two things by which you can uh, acquire or get to know this. This Swami has said, Shraddhavana labhate atman. Yuktahara viharasya is also there in the uh, Krishna's this
Bhagavad
thing,
Gita.
Bhagavad Gita. And Shamadhi Shat Sampatti, uh, and steady and focused mind, as he was earlier told about tranquility, focusing, meditation through yoga. That is how you can attain that. That is 24th. And the 25th says,
So basically, yeah, what you said is
yeah,
right. I just
yeah,
wanted to add there that
uh,
all these, what 24 is focusing is who is not qualified for receiving that Atma Gnana. And then all
Dushcharita,
these aviratah,
Avirata,
ashantah,
Dushcharita, Asha.
dushcharitah,
Yeah.
asamahitah, ashantamanasah, all these are lakshana of the anadhikari. So if we do find those in us, aviratah, one who does not revel in this, the topic that you want to contemplate on, dushcharitat, who is not following the values, etc., or who is doing who is compromising the dharma, etc., values, ashantah, lot of things on the go, asamahita, not focused, all these things are there, then we need to work on it. We need to work by the tools which have already been mentioned before, or which we have studied even from elsewhere, like Tattvabodh. But even here in Shreyas and Prayas and Vivek and Vairagya was talked about, and so we can learn and work on it.
Yeah.
Okay, please carry on.
So, the 21st mantra, it summarizes this, but with a different idea, saying that one who knows where he is, to whom Brahmins and Kshatriyas are merry food, and death itself is like a pickle. That is what it says. So that means he is the owner of everything, and he's, I would say, I'm not able to get that proper word for this. Like
The
uh,
idea
he
is, the whole idea of this mantra is that this
yeah,
Brahman is so difficult to
yeah,
know. I mean,
no, yeah,
it's a little bit
yeah,
crazy example, but
mm,
that's the idea.
yeah,
Because this Brahman is such for whom this
mm,
Brahmana and Kshatriyam, etc., are also just like, there are food like Odanam and
yeah,
something. What
Udam,
is like a chutney? They are like,
chutney,
something is like the rice and something is like a chutney, like the South
mm,
Indian style eating.
yeah,
You
yeah,
have one place rice and one place pickle, one place your salt, whatever. And so these things are like those items. And this
Kshetra,
Brahman is almost like that Mrityu, because
Mrityu.
it's the
Mrityu
concept
is
of
like
time.
chutney.
The concept
Mm,
of time is Mrityu. So,
yeah,
who can, that Saguna Brahma, who can know
yeah,
it? Who can know
yeah,
it? That's the idea, that it's very difficult to
that's
know.
right.
Uh,
Iti,
and so if
iti,
you are an anadhikari, like 24th mantra says, then we
yes,
have to work on it.
yeah, we have to work on it. So, iti
Hmm.
काठोपनिषद प्रथम अध्याये द्वितीया वल्ली संपन्न हरि
Okay,
ओम. This completes the
thanks,
second one.
thanks. So
Next
now
is
on to Gopalji,
Yeah. Okay.
Gopalji.
Acha, okay.
Tritiya Valli.
Yeah.
So you are doing first two
Tritiya
mantras.
Valli.
This is the next only man.
Yes, third
Valli
Valli,
3,
Third
first
one is
two.
Sloka Mantra 1.
1 and 2.
There are, okay, they just goes like that. There are two who dwell within the body, in the intellect, the supreme akasa of the heart, enjoying the sure rewards of their own actions. The knowers of the Brahma describe them as a light and shade, as do those householders who have offered oblations in the five fires, and also those who have thrice performed the Nachiketa sacrifice. The connection of the present world is this one. The knowledge and the ignorance have already been described previously as leading to many contrary results, but each of them had not been described in its own nature with its results. The imagining of the analogy of the chariot is for the purpose of determining them, as also for the easy understanding of the subject. Thus, two Atmans are there described for the purpose of distinguishing between the attainer and the attained, and the goer and the goal. That is drinking, that is enjoying the truth, the fruits of the enjoyer, and the analogy is using the expression of the umbrella carriers go, when not all of them carry umbrellas. So, Sukritisya means the deeds done by themselves and is connected with the previous word fruits. Loke means in this body, Gutam Parivastav means larger in the intelligence. Parame, superior in relation to the space of the Akas, of the external body. Pararde, in abode of the Brahman. Par, there can be Brahman be realized. There can Brahman be realized. The meaning is that they are lodged in the akasas within the cavity of the heart. Again, there are dissimilar like shadows and light. Being within the pearl of samsara and free from samsara, respectively. So the do the doers, so the knowers of the Brahman tell, not those alone who do not perform karma say so, but also the householders maintaining the five sacrificial fires and others by whom the sacrificial Nachiketa fire has been thrice lit. Those people also say. That's what this is about. Actually, when I go to the next one,
Yeah, you can go to the do both together so that the idea is complete.
Yeah, right.
Don't if that makes sense, because we are focused on the ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead with the second one.
Yeah. Second one is we know how to perform the Nachiketa sacrifice, which is the bridge for the sacrifiers. And we know also that supreme imperishable Brahman, which is sought by those who wish to cross over to the shore where there is no fear. The Nachiketa fire, which is as it were a bridge is a bridge for persons performing sacrifices for the purpose of crossing the grief. We can light up. Moreover, what is fearless and what is the main support of the knowers of Brahman who wish to go to the other shore of samsara, the immortal Brahman known as Atman. We can know. The meaning of the text is that both the unmanifested and the manifested Brahman. The goal of the goal of the knowers of the Brahman and those who perform karma are worthy to be known. It is a description of this that has been given in the previous test. Okay. Now we have same verses which are of practical importance. Actual sadhana, spiritual
You have
practice.
done you completed 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, then
No,
3 to
one
9 is
few lines are there. Now we have some verses which are of practical importance. Actual sadhana, spiritual practice, is described here in the next verses, which are very important.
I am in third mantra, Gopalji.
yeah. You
Yeah,
have
complete.
yes, Bhavnaji's.
Yeah,
Before that,
complete.
before going to that, Bhavnaji, in your notes, do you have anything to add from verses 1 and 2?
No, he covered most of the things, you know.
Okay. Those two mantras are a little bit difficult, so I mean, I would not expect maybe maybe I will let the whole thing get completed and then I will do a little summary.
Yeah, and if you want me
Okay.
to, I will go over my notes again later on, and next time I can
So
say that what is okay.
it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Mantra 3. I'm not going to read or anything, so I'm just going to
okay.
give my little summary.
Yes,
Is
yes,
it okay?
please. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I want all of you to do.
Yes. So the Upanishad present life is a chariot allegory. The body is the Ratha, chariot. The Jiva, individual soul, is the Rathin. The rider, the intellect, Buddhi, is the Sarthi, charioteer. And the mind, Manas, is the rein. Swamiji explained here that though the rider, ego self, seems like the master, in reality, he is totally dependent upon the Buddhi, driver, just as the cab passenger depends entirely on the driver's knowledge of the road. The jiva depends on the intellect's right decision. If the driver is ignorant or careless, the rider is taken for a ride. And humorously, he gives the example of Delhi and Rome that even though your hotel is next door, he will take you circle the whole city. Similarly, the buddhi doesn't know the destination, moksha, or the right path. Shreyas, the life becomes a misguided and deter, and you will never able to reach your goal, the moksha. This is my mantra
I
3.
am going to request if
Mm.
all of you can turn your videos on, it would be nice during interactive, if it is
But
possible.
yeah, right. I'm reading
If it
from,
if it is
yeah.
not possible, it is fine. But
Okay.
if it is
So
possible for
after my
those,
finish, I'll turn on. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, go.
So mantra 4 now. The senses are like the horses. Sense objects are their roads. The jiva, the sorry, united with the body, mind, and senses is the bhokta, enjoyer, the doer. Swamiji explained here in this verse that just as a horse is naturally rushed to the green grass without knowing direction, the senses rushes towards their object, eye towards form, the ears towards the sound, etc. And if the brain, the mind, and the driver intellect are not vigilant, the horses drag the chariot anywhere. And often it fell into ditch also. same way, the ego, enjoyer, and the sufferer, ego identify with the equipment, becomes the enjoyer and sufferer. So he will go in the ditch, means he will not able to uh, know this knowledge. So Swamiji compared it to an actor who is actually rich but plays as a beggar on the stage. And if he forgot that his true identity, he suffers like a beggar and acts like a beggar. And similarly, the limitless self mistakes itself as a needy due to the identification with the body mind. And thus he becomes bhokta and miss his goal. Okay. So, and that is my number 4. And number 5, a person's lacking right understanding and with an uncontrolled avijnanam, and with the uncontrolled mind, it drags helplessly by senses. His indriya becomes like a untrained wild horse. Here, Swamiji explained in this verse that such a person give full license to the likes and dislikes and chasing every desire in the hope of happiness. This is like a pouring ghee into the fire. The more you feed, the more it blazes. Desires multiply endlessly, leading to an unrestrained life. And Swamiji compare here of the dog chewing the dry bone. And dog tastes his own blood, but thinking that bone is very, very juicy and keep on chewing in these delusions. Similarly, we think that happiness comes from the object, not realizing it is our own self. We are briefly touched when desires are fulfilled, and we feel for the moment happiness, but then another desire popped up, and you continues there, like a, as I said, that feeling ghee in the yagna. This is number 5. And number 6 is, on the other hand, the discriminating person, Jnanwan, with a restrained and disciplined mind, has a well trained horses. His senses obey the reins, means guided by the chariot, intellect. Swamiji here emphasizes in the verse that this is the difference between life of bhoga, indulgence, and yoga, the disciplined person. Yogi uses karma yoga instead of gratifying impulses. He replaces anger with the forgiveness, greed with the contentment, jealousy with the uh, praise, appreciation, congratulations. Over time, the mind becomes calm, cooperative, and the senses become under control. And Swamiji also give example like planting opposite seeds in the mind. When anger arises, uh, you should plant the compassion. When the greed arises, plant the satisfaction. So this way, slowly and slowly, inner atmosphere changes. Just as a garden is transferred by replacing weed with the flower, and then your mind become calm, control, and you will able to concentrate and gain this knowledge. The verse describes number 7. The verse describes the tragic end of the non-discretionary person because of the wrong understanding and impure mind. He never reaches the ultimate goal, Tatapadam, and instead of he revolves in endlessly in samsara. And Swamiji explained here in this verse that anger, greed, jealousy, resentment, and are called the impurities because they make us dislike ourselves. The more one gratifies desire, the more dissatisfaction grows, leading to inner conflict and suffering. And it is Swamiji compare here forever chasing mirage water, that you keep on chasing, but you will never find the water. So the more you run, the more thirsty you becomes, and never able to quenching the real need. Such a life is unavailable. Swami said this is because it is deepens bondages, and when the you are in control of bondages, you will never able to quench your thirst, means gain the jnana. That was the number 7. And number 8 is the wise person with a purified and restrained mind reaches the highest abode, moksha, freedom from rebirth. Swamiji explained in this mantra that birth itself represents neediness. We take a birth because of unfulfilled desire. When desires are gone, no rebirth is required. This isn't about running away from the light, but about discovering the inner fullness. So there is no compulsion to return. And here Swamiji compared it is a water flowing to the ocean. Once it is merges in the ocean, the restless rush ends. Similarly, when the jiva realizes the self, the restlessness seeking ends. Liberation is not becoming limitless, but recognize one's own nature is already limitless. Ananda, Purna. and that was that person has it, so that's why he become liberated. And mantra 9 is, this is the grand culmination of the allegory. The person whose intellect is a chariotary and mind is disciplined reaches the supreme goal. Vishnoho Paramal Padam, the ultimate limitless self. Here, Swamiji clarified that Vishnu's supreme abode does not mean the physical heaven, but the all pervasive reality. With the chariot imagery complete, the body as a chariot, sense as a horses, and mind as a rein, intellect as a driver, and self as a passenger, the message is very clear that a well integrated personality, guided by discrimination, steadily reaches the liberation. And here he gives the example of traveler who finally reaches home after long wandering. All his struggles are trying to be adequate, complete, fulfilled, and he recognized that I am that fullness itself. So, in short, mantra 3 to 9 altogether is the undisciplined, ignorant drive, restless desire, impurity, samsara. But the disciplined person gets the discriminating life, harmony, and inner freedom and moksha. This is my summary.
Nice. Gopalji, 10th and 11th.
No, actually, I have not prepared for the next this one, madam. For
Why?
Pushti. Somehow I don't know. It's skipped. I don't know why I didn't
So
do.
you didn't realize that you had
Yeah,
put
yeah,
it in?
I didn't realize that.
Okay. So, okay, fine. Ma, you have it, Bhavnaji, 10th and 11th? If you have, you are on mute, so I can't hear. Like, Bhavnaji, you're on mute, I can't hear.
Okay. So, no, I had just taken my summary part notes from that
Okay.
things, no? But
Okay,
next time
fine.
I will do the everything. So then these kind of things happen, I can do it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
okay.
skipped my mind. I just didn't do it.
So let me do it then. Unless Sudhirji has done it, do you have your notes? So I mean, technically, what I want is ideally, all of you should have all of your notes. And so, if one person is not able to do, then other can,
Yeah.
so just read out the notes. It's okay.
Right. But,
Fine.
I used to write everything. So, go back and write. So that's why it is like a whole
Yeah,
lecture, my notes. And
yeah,
from that, when that day you told me, so I try to take out few things from my notes,
yeah, yeah,
And so next time I will do that.
yeah. Okay. So, Indriyebhyah para ह्यर्थाः अर्थेभ्यश्च परं मनः मनसस्तु para buddhiः. So now, in ninth mantra, Vishnoho param padam, that oneness, when you have that integrative mind, then oneness of individuality and totality is realized, and that Vishnu padam, param padam is known as the very self. Okay, but having said that, we still haven't realized it. So how to do it? So now the means, the sadhana is given, that how to slowly get our personality tuned up to this padam. And so, so this 10th mantra and 11th mantra together forms this, it's the Shakha Chandra Nyaya that is being told, right? Arundhati Nyaya. That in order to show us that star, which is very minute, we are shown this branch of this tree or another star, and then we are diverted that just look 30 degrees to that star or something of that sort. So we are given a landmark, a visible landmark, to divert us to a not so visible thing that we want to see. And so also here, what we want to realize is extremely subtle. Like Sudhirji said, Anoho, Aniyan and Mahato Mahiyan. That is the thing we want to know. How to know it? So then it is said, look, first you focus on your indriyas. Then you know that even compared to indriyas, this artha, the objects, are subtler. then compared to the objects, sense objects, our mind is more subtle. Then compared to the mind, manasastu parabuddhihi, the intellect is more subtle, because intellect, so what is the definition of, telling that one thing is subtler than the other thing? So three ideas are given. That which is vyapaka, I think this is what I said last time, right? That which pervades, that which is more subtle, and then there is third one which I can't remember right now, but there are three things. That anyways, but at least the subtle and that which pervades, that which is mahan, that which is great, that which is subtle, and that which pervades. Those are the three things. And that makes one entity more greater than the other. So in these two mantras, this is the rule that is applied. And so indriyebhya parahyartaha. So compared to sense organs, sense objects are more subtle, more greater, and more pervading. Compared to the sense objects, mind is more subtler, more greater, and more. What else did I forget?
Pervading.
Great, great, subtle, and pervading. Compared to the mind, buddhi, our intellect is more subtle, more pervading, and more great. So let me finish the chain first. Compared to this intellect, individual intellect, buddhe he atma mahan paraha. Buddhe he atma mahan paraha. Mahat Tattva. Mahan Atma is what? Mahat Tattva, right? So, compared to Buddhi, the Mahan Atma means Mahat Tattva. And Mahat Tattva, you should understand it as the total Buddhi, the Hiranya Garbha. But right now equated to total Buddhi. So, there is this Samashti Buddhi.
So, it is Samashti level, right?
Samashti level. So the buddhi here talked is individual level. Compared to buddhi, the Mahan Atma is Samashti Buddhi. That is more subtle, that is more great, and that is more pervading. So until buddhi, Indriyebhya to buddhi, we were seeing everything at individual level. Now from buddhi to buddhi to Mahanatma, we are making a jump from individuality to totality. So this is the jump. This is the quantum jump that we are making. This is not quantum. This is a jump. Then we'll make another quantum jump. Then what? Mahataha param avyaktaha. Compared to this total buddhi, this avyakta or maya is more subtle, more great, and more pervading. And even compared to this avyakta or maya, this purushaha, which is aksharaha, which is this param tattva, is more subtle, more great, and more pervading. Why? Because it is the very adhisthana, and all of these are the projections, right? So whatever is adhisthana, like rope is the adhisthana for the snake which is projected. So that rope is more pervading than that projection which is snake. In that same manner, this param tattva akshara is more pervading, more subtle than this avyakta or maya, which is just a projection upon this param brahma. So creatorship, sustainership, all of these things, all of these concepts are what? Projection upon this Brahman, are nothing but costumes of this Brahman. But the one who's wearing all this costume is much greater, more pervading, and more subtle than all these costumes. So that's the idea. Purushan, then is there something more pervading than Purushaha? No, this is the culmination of this chain of something being greater than something else, and something being subtler and pervading than the other thing. So this Purusha na param kinchit sa kashta sa paragatihi. There is nothing that is greater than this Purusha, and this Purusha alone, which is this Vishnu Padam, which is this Akshara Tattva. Well, we are in Kathopanisad, so we need not talk of Akshar. But the same Akshar Tattva of Mundaka is what? Sa Kashta, Sa Paragati. That is the culmination, and that alone is the Gati. That alone is what is sought by everybody. So that is, so in this way, we have to make our minds focused, more subtle, more concentrated, and then we can make that big quantum jump. So we did 2 jumps here. In 10th mantra, we did jumped from individuality to totality. And in 11th mantra, we are doing the jump, a quantum jump from avyakta, avyakta, which is Maya, to Purushaha. So idea is when our mind becomes so composed that all the other activities we give up and we are just focused on this, then we will be able to understand what the Shruti is trying to say, and then we will be able to own up our own nature. So the quantum jump is just owning up our own nature. And that happens in the very attempt of giving up all the attempts. So the whole process of 10th and 11th mantra is so that by doing so, by focusing in this manner, we give up all the other attempts of being extrovert. So we are being made, inward looking by this whole process. So just like in meditation, you are being asked that, okay, do your pranayam, do Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So what's the idea? That first our attention is towards the whole individuality. So I know of everything. I know of this fan. I know that I am feeling hot. I'm feeling cold, whatever. So from that, now you focus inward. So then you lose the tension of this body and then you are focused on the prana. Then slowly after the pranayam, you're focused on just the activities of the mind. Then slowly you are asked to observe the thoughts of mind, and slowly you see how you continue to become inward looking. And the same process is, given here in a different way, so that we can give up identification with all the non-self, and then what remains is that self. And then the Upanishad says that Purushaha is that Tattva, and then we can own it up. That's the idea. Okay, then Sudhirji, have you done 12th and 13th?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
But
please.
almost 12th and 13th is almost similar to 11, 12. Okay, anyway, I will try, and from my notes, the 12th says, Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudhotmana prakashate. Drishyate tvagrahya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshivi. The self who is hidden in all beings, Atman dwells in all beings, but he is hidden. How he is hidden? He dwells, cannot be realized easily. The clouds of ignorance are covering it, as a result of which it does not shine, or we don't see it shining. Though it is actually shining, we don't see it shining. Like superimposition of snake on the rope. That is the example Swamiji has given. But he is seen by Sukshmadarshi. Sukshmadarshi, Sukshmadarshi means the one who goes thinking subtler and subtler things, who goes It's darshi doesn't mean by eyes or something. Darshi means the grasping and understanding and focusing in a
Darshi
smaller and
means the
smaller
one who has this darshan. So the
darshan.
Sukshma Darshi is
Yeah.
the person who has this Sukshma capacity to do the Sukshma
Capacity
Darshan.
to yes,
Hmm.
capacity to understand the subtle things. Sukshmadarshi, having sharp intellect to realize subtle drushti and concentrate. This is how seers are able to see and realize Atman. That is what the number 12 says. If we come to 13th, it's again the same thing that you have explained in
Except
the
it is
11th.
the process of merging. So first
Yeah, it's a process of merging.
so now it
It's
is a process of merging and resolving. Yes,
yeah.
go ahead.
In Vishwa Srushti Nirmanyam, the Purusha expanded himself through various things into the human being and nature and Srushti. This is a reverse merger that we have to plan right from our own self, our own personality to reach to Purusha. That is what the 13th mantra says. Just a second. 13th mantra says, Yat Tvechan Manasi Pradnyastad
We can
Chedhyana
avoid
Atmaka.
chanting it because
Yeah,
chanting is not happening properly and it mantras chanted wrongly creates dosha. So we will
Hmm.
avoid chanting.
So wise men should merge his speech in mind. When he's calling speech, it is vak. It's not just the speech. It's all sense organs. That is what it meant. He should merge all his sense organs into mind, which is subtler than the sense organs, which is mind, which is responsible for shining the sense organs. Then which is shining the mind? It is the intellect which is shining the mind. So he should ultimately try to merge his mind into intellect. That is what is the reverse merging. So the sequence is sense organs to mind, mind to intellect, and then total intellect to total ego. And then subtle ego to sattvic ego. That means ultimately the sattva tattva should the one from where these things have started. So all the other things have to be made merged into the sattvic ego, where it gives the total peace, which is sometimes called avikalpa samadhi. That is what Swamiji has said. This is a change as per concept of acquiring sukshma drushti. This is how you try to acquire the sukshma drushti, as is said in this mantra. Hari Om. That is what the third mantra says.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yes,
reverse
13th
merging.
mantra.
Can I do
Yes.
14?
13th mantra said. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, Gopalji can do 14th.
Yeah, just a minute. Hold on. Yeah, I'll do 14. In this one, Uttishta Jagrata, that's arise, awake, approach the great and learn. Like the sharp edge of a razor is that path. So the wise say hard to tread and difficult to cross. That is the main, just the meaning of that one. Further comes having thus merged into the Purusha and the Atman, all the three, the name, form, and karma, which are produced by the false knowledge and are the nature of action, agents, and fruits, by the knowledge of the truth nature of the Atman, as the water in the mirage, the serpent in the rope, and the color of the sky disappear by seeing the true nature of the mirage, rope, and the sky. One becomes free from anxiety and calm. His purpose is accomplished. Therefore, know that arise, O living beings sleeping in the beginningless ignorance, turn towards the acquisition of the knowledge of the Atman and awake. Put an end to the sleep of ignorance. horrible in the form and the seed of all misery. How? Having approached the excellent preceptors who know that, realize the Atman taught by them, the innermost and in all, thus I am He, I am He. This is not to be neglected. Thus, the Shruti, like a mother, says, from compassion, that the Shruti, like a mother, says from compassion, because the object to be known can be realized only by the very subtle intelligence. Why it is stated by subtle intellect? The edge of the razor is pointed, made sharp and impassable. The passable with the difficulty. Yes, that cannot be walked over by the feet. Similarly, how to attain. The intelligence say is the road for the knowledge of the truth. The meaning is that because of the object to be known is very subtle, they say the road of the knowledge leading to that is very not easily attainable. That is the 14th Pushti.
Hmm. Bhavnaji?
Yes, in 1 minute, okay? 1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute. I will start. I was using that.
So important words
In
in
mantra
those
15.
14th mantra are Uttishta and Jagratah. Right?
Yeah, 14th is Uttishta Jagrada.
Jagrata.
Jagrada.
Yes. Because this is so difficult, so don't take it for granted. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
make use of all the tools that you have. Yes, Bhavnaji.
Okay. In this mantra, describe number 15, right? Yeah. Number 15 I have, right? Yeah. So in
Yes.
this mantra, describe the true nature of the self in purely negative terms. Neti, neti. Not this, not this. Self is beyond all the attributes. It cannot be heard. Ashabdam, touch, asparsam, seen, arupam, tasted, arasam, or smelled, agandhavat. It is eternal, nityam, imperishable, avyayam, beginless, anadi, endless, anantam, and beyond even the cosmic intellect, Mahatparam. Just now Pushtiji explained to us. So that Mahatparam. It is immovable like a Dhruvtara, free of changes. By realizing the self as such a beyond all sensory grasps and mental projection, one becomes freed from the jaws of the dread. Mrityu mukha param paramuchyate. In this verse, Swamiji given example by using the 5 elements to illustrate subtly. Earth has all 5 attributes: sound, touch, form, taste, smell. Water has a 4. Water doesn't have a uh, this form, right? And the fire has a 3. Fire doesn't have a taste and uh, touch. And the air has a 2, which air doesn't have a touch, form, taste, and uh, a smell. And the space is only one, sound. Each subtler element has a fewer attribute, and then it is harder to perceive. The self having no attribute at all. It is subtler than the hardest to recognize. It is subtlest and the hardest to recognize. So it is compared to like a rope and snake's error. What we actually experience is always the rope, the limitless self. But due to misinterpretation that the snake is a rope, we see the snake because of our limitations. So problem is not with the experience but with the interpretation. So our mind project limitlessness on the limitless. We cannot see that we are limitless, we are Sachidanand, we are uh, always, Paramananda and Satchit Sutta Atma. So this is what the mantra 15 is saying. Then in mantra 16, it is glorified the story of Nachiketa. It says that Nachiketa Upakanyam, told by Yamraja, Mrityu Proktam, in Sanatanam, eternal, timeless, ever relevant. Whoever listens to this attention, Shrutva, and all shares or teaches it further, Uktva, such a wise person, Medhavi, becomes exalted and Riyam on the Brahman, Brahma Loka Mahiyate. Here, Swamiji explained that this is called the Falastruti. The Upanishad praise itself, showing the value of the teaching. And Swamiji gave here example and explained that just as the Vedas are eternal, so to the dialogues of Yamaraja and Nachiketa is also eternal, because it deals with the timeless truth of self. Even simply listening and retelling is a generate the immense merit, punya, lifting the listener to Brahmaloka. Swamiji humorously noted that even Lord Yama, who usually takes the people, here gives the key to the freedom, uh, that how to go to Brahmaleka. So he is showing his generosity to give us this knowledge. And then in Mantra 7, the final verse concludes the first chapter. It declares the whoever recite this supreme secret teaching in a Brahma Samadhi as a symbol of the seeker or wise one, or even the ritual occasions such
Sansadu.
as a Shraddha, ceremony of ancestor with a purity, the purity of prayatna gains infinite rewards. And the emphasis is not just on the study, but in sharing the teaching with the devotion and sincerity. And Swamiji explaining here that Guhyam means not the mystery, but the precious treasure, something which worth protecting. Repeating or teaching the Upanishad in a holy gathering was traditionally part of Shraddha, where ancestors are honored. Reciting Vedantic truth here was considered the highest offering, greater than the food itself. Swamiji also pointed out the style that the mantra repeats, Tadanatya Kalpate, leads to infinite result, to indicate the formal completion of the chapter. And in this old oral tradition, such a repetition signed to the student that the section has ended. So, in short, Mantra 15 defines the self by negation beyond all the attribute, freeing one from the death. Mantra 16 glorifies the Nachiketa stories, eternal listening, teaching will bring, it brings the Brahmaloka. And Mantra 17 concludes with the praise that whoever shares this supreme secret gain infinite merit. This is my
Good.
summary.
Good. Now, if you
Because
have
you
time,
told to
then
write one line, na?
no, that's
So,
good. No, that's what I wanted. It's good.
yeah.
It's perfect. If you all are fine, then I can do a quick summary, and I would
Yes,
like
yes,
to
yes.
just chant this section, because
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this, formally, Kathopanishad technically gets over here, but we have a full
Right,
adhyaya, right? So
right,
the Nachiketa's question has been answered. What he
right.
asked for in the boon has been answered.
Yeah.
So let me just quickly go over
No,
this
no, I have time. Don't worry about it, Pustiji. Okay, don't worry. Because
with
they are
others as
recordings.
well. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm okay. Okay.
So this, I'll just do the quick summary and then do the chanting. So Rutam Pibantau, this first mantra talks about two entities. It talks about two entities, right? Sukrutasya loke. Two entities have as though entered here, and they are so separate, they are so opposite as Chaya and as shadow and light. What are the two entities? It's Jiva and Ishvara. It's a code language as if. So I guess once when you will start doing Bhashya, it will become more clear. But it is a complicated one, and there is a whole Brahma Sutra on it. So it's fine. I mean, um, but yes, the Rutam Pibantav, the two entities being talked about is Ishvara and Jiva, Sadhya and seeker and sought. So those are the two entities being talked about, and this is that Vishnu Pada that we have to understand. This is the how Jiva and Ishvara seems to be two but are one, that we have to understand. So it opens up with how there are two, and this essentially has a link with Dva Suparnau that we saw in Mundaka Upanishad. There also it starts with there are as if two birds. It is not that there are two birds. But because of ignorance, one bird alone is seen as two. And so also here also, it is not that there are two, but because of ignorance, it's as though seen as two. So with that much, then I'm not going to dwell too much into this second mantra. It is just talking about the Sagun. Nachiketa Agni is just talking about Sagun Brahma Upasana. So those who do Sagun Brahma Upasana, even they know what? That Ishvara and Jiva, these two concepts are there even in their mind. Who do this Saguna Upasana, Saguna Brahma Upasana. So, and they know what the result of two is different. Knowing them is you have a different result. So then having said that, how to know them, how to know the oneness of the two, for that this whole Ratha analogy has been given, so that we understand that our personality is made of different layers, and we need integration of those personality in the personality, so that it is not that one thing of the personality is telling one thing and the other is going in another direction. And if that is the case, then what happens? Accident will happen. We want to go to hospital, we want to go to Himalayas, and we'll end up in hospital. So a beautiful analogy is given of a chariot, with the comparison that you all already gave. So I'm not going to dwell too much on it. I'm going to go further. Then so that second, third, fourth, all this is giving analogy. And then fifth and sixth is saying how our sarthi should be. How if the Viveka Buddhi is not there of what is right and wrong, and if the whole personality is not driven by that Vivek Buddhi, then it is highly likely that we will not be able to reach our destination. Our destination is what? Vishnu Padam. Vishnu Padam is our destination, uh, and we will not reach there, and we will reach somewhere else. Not only that, we will reach an opposite end. So then, fifth and sixth are talking about the right sarthi and the sarthi which will lead us to wrong direction. Then seventh and eighth is telling the phalam, so which I've already discussed, that if we have the right sarthi, then it will lead us to our goal, towards our goal. Otherwise, it will take us in the wrong direction. And then finally, in ninth mantra, the oneness of the Jiva and Ishvara, Sadhya and Sadhaka, seeker and sought, is being said. That person who has an integrated personality, he alone is able to, when the Shruti Vakya is heard by him, and he contemplates on him, meditates upon that truth, then he can own up that yes, I am that truth. I am indeed that one truth. And then, so having said that once, now again the Upanishad says, but this it's very difficult. And so it gives us in 10th and 11th, as we discussed, it gives us how to make our mind tuned to that one truth, so that we can own it up. And so that whole idea of one thing being pervasive, subtle, and greater than another thing is being said, and how we are driven from individuality to totality, and then we are even that concepts of individual and totality are at the level of costumes. The adhisthana, when you understand, then both greatness and inferiorness are what? They are just mere concepts. So then by identifying that totality, we are able to finally knock off even though that concept of totality, and we are able to understand I as the very Adhisthana, I as the very Vishnu Padam, which is what Sa Kashta Sa Paragatihi. That is the culmination of this chain of greater, subtler, all pervasiveness. And that alone is what you are seeking. That alone is the destination. Then, 12th mantra is again pointing that, okay, I've told you that is the Sa Kashta Sa Paragati, but again, I understand that this is, it requires agraya buddhi. It requires sukshma buddhi. So only that person who has a very focused and subtle mind would be able to, knock the other things off and own up one's nature. That is being pointed in that 12th mantra. And again, uh, 13th and 14th is again the merging. It's a concept of whole merging. The Upanishad already said how to go from individuality to totality, and then that's the it was showing us how that is the Vishnu Padam. And now it is showing us how to merge ourselves into that one reality, how to make our mind merge into that or resolve into that one reality by that mantra 13th. So this is essentially the prakriya of yoga, like Sudhirji said, it's what? Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So that is being mentioned here. And ultimately it culminates into the Shanta Atmani, into this composed mind. Then again, Uttishta Jagrata, again because this tattva is so difficult, and so Shruti is again and again kind of motivating and inspiring us that, hey, just sit down now. Again, you get up and be alert. Uttishta and Jagrata means what? You continuously work on your Purushartha and you be alert every time, every minute that uh, am I adopting Shreyas or Prayas? Am I working my mind up or not? Like, is my personality integrated in making this decision, or my mind is saying something, my buddhi is saying something? So be alert. Be alert about all the emotions and all the thoughts that is taking place in your personality. So beautifully, this section of the Upanishad it exposes us to the areas we have to work on. Even with all this knowledge, we have to work on all this on our personality to make it integrated. And that Ratha analogy, we can remind ourselves always, so that in our day-to-day interaction, we can see, hey, in this decision, when I am making this decision, am I going with my mind? Am I going with my intellect, buddhi? Meaning what? Am I choosing what should the buddhi select? Shreyas and Prayas. So buddhi should select Shreyas or Prayas. So is my mind just hanging on or picking what it likes, or is it listening to the buddhi? So that can be our sadhana. Uh, Realizing I am Brahman is it's long distance. The first sadhana we have to do is what? This, that all decision, any decision that I do, is it in keeping with the Shreyas and Prayas? Is it in keeping with the selfless attitude? And likewise, you train your entire personality. If you find your sense organs are, not listening, then you train them first by doing upvasa, etc. Upvasa of not just fasting, but of you want to watch movie, you do upvasa, that only this much. So wherever your mind is going out, you want to listen something, you do upvasa. So wherever there are distractions in that area, you would have to do upvasa, to bring your indriyas under, have mastery over your indriyas. So basically, that shama, dama, uparama, titiksha, all that factors are being said in this ratha analogy, that this is the area we can work on. And only when we have worked on it enough will we be able to move forward on that Vishnu Padam and Sakashta Sapara. Then we will be able to do even this 13th and 12th, the yogic prakriya of merging the totality, individuality into totality. All this we can do then when we have a integrated personality. So Uttishtata Jagrata, because this is very difficult. So you please be alert and be constantly on the go. Then Ashabdam Asparsham, with that, uh, how the subtlety of this tattva is being mentioned, that it is not a matter of any it is not a matter of perceiving through any of the sense organs, because it doesn't have any attributes which generally the sense organs are able to perceive. Shabda, sparsha, what? This eyes can perceive rupam. This ears can perceive shabda. So it's not a matter of any attribute of the Pancha Mahabhuta, and so it is not a matter of perceiving by these sense organs. And so that neti neti prakriya is being shown, and that nityatvam of Brahman is also shown here. How this tattva is very subtle, at the same time how it is avyayam, it does not get destroyed. So nitya, it is nitya, it is anadi, it is beginningless, anadi, anantam, right? Mahatam, the second part, dhruvam means nirvikara, and it is anantam, avyayam, anadi, and anantam. So that kind of the subtlety of the Atma and the Swarupa of the Atma is highlighted. Then again, so 16th and 17th is basically the stuti of this Jnanam, and glorification of how those who recite and make this heard in Jignasu and learned people, they attain this Anantyam. So basically it is just a stuti. I'm not going to dwell more on it. So with that, we complete the summary.
Chapter 1. Chapter
And
1
I'm
of
going to just quickly chant. I don't know how I can do quickly chanting, but I'll chant. ऋतं पिबन्तौ सुकृतस्य लोके गुहां प्रविष्टौ परमे परार्थे छायातपौ ब्रह्मविदो वदन्ति पञ्चाग्नयो ये च त्रिनाचिकेताः यस्सेतुरीजानानाम् अक्षरं ब्रह्म यत्परम् अभयं तितीर्षतां पारं नाचिकेतं शकेमहि आत्मानं रथिनं विद्धि शरीरं रथमेव तु बुद्धिं तु सारथिं विद्धि मनः प्रग्रहमेव च इन्द्रियाणि हयानाहुः विषयांस्तेषु गोचरान् आत्मेन्द्रियमनोयुक्तं भोक्तेयाहुर्मनीषिणः यस्त्वविज्ञानवान् भवति अयुक्तेन मनसा सदा तस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्येन्द्रियाण्यवश्यानि दुष्टाश्वा इव सारथेः यस्तु विज्ञानवान् भवति युक्तेन मनसा सदा तस्येन्द्रियाणि वश्यानि सदश्वा इव सारथेः यस्त्वविज्ञानवान् भवति अमनस्कः सदा शुचिः न स तत्पदमाप्नोति संसारं चाधिगच्छति. यस्तु विज्ञानवान् भवति समनस्कः सदा शुचिः स तु तत्पदमाप्नोति यस्माद् भूयो न जायते विज्ञानसारथीर्यस्तु मनः प्रग्रहवान् नरः सोऽध्वनः परमाप्नोति तद्विष्णोः परमं पदम् इन्द्रियेभ्यः पराह्यर्थाः अर्थेभ्यश्च परं मनः मनसस्तु परा बुद्धिः बुद्धेरात्मा महान् परः महतः परमव्यक्तम् अव्यक्तात् पुरुषः परः पुरुषात् न परं किञ्चित् सा काष्ठा सा परा गतिः एष सर्वेषु भूतेषु गूढोत्मानः प्रकाशते दृश्यते त्वग्रया बुद्ध्या सूक्ष्मया सूक्ष्मदर्शिभिः यच्छेवाङ्मनसि प्राज्ञः तद्यच्छे ज्ञान आत्मनि ज्ञानमात्मनि महति नियच्छेत् तद्यच्छेत् शान्त आत्मनि उत्तिष्ठत जाग्रत प्राप्य वरान् निबोधत शूरस्य धारा निशिता दुरत्यया दुर्गं पथस्तत्कवयो वदन्ति अशब्दमस्पर्शमरूपमव्ययम् तथा रसं नित्यमगन्धवच्च यत् अनाद्यनन्तं महतः परं ध्रुवं निचायतन् मृत्युमुखात् प्रमुच्यते नाचिकेतमुपाख्यानं मृत्युप्रोक्तं सनातनम् उक्त्वा श्रुत्वा च मेधावी ब्रह्मलोके महीयते य इमं परमं गुह्यं श्रावयेद् ब्रह्मसंसदि प्रयतः श्राद्धकाले वा तदानन्त्याय कल्पते इति काठकोपनिषदि इति प्रथमाध्याये तृतीया वल्ली ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
पुष्टि
हरि
जी
ओम।
पुष्टि जी